of course, like I'm a homer. I'm not going to ignore that.
What do they see in this guy? This guy sucks.
Prepare yourself for the Raptors Report podcast with your hosts, Julian and Steve.
Hello, Raptors fans. Welcome back to the Raptors Report podcast. I am Julian, your host, also joined by Steve, my co-host, as always.
Hello.
It is March the 2nd, Monday, and we got a good show for you. How are you doing today, Steve?
I'm excellent. You know what? I've seen some warmer weather on the horizon in Toronto. Maybe we're breaking out of the winter funk finally. Season's starting to slowly come into the end part, so we're starting to look forward to playoff matchups, who we're going to face, stuff like that. It's a pretty exciting time of the year. How you doing?
Well, I wish I could say I'm good, but like I'm coming off of an illness, and I woke up with a really fun swollen lymph node. Like if you can tell, like I've got a little bit of like a jowl going on here, so. Yeah, it wasn't very fun. And with the swollen lymph nodes, it's so bizarre. Like underneath your tongue, there's those weird, like little kind of like balls underneath your tongue. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When your lymph nodes get inflamed, like they like swell up and like push underneath your tongue. I never had that happen before. It's very weird and disgusting. So yeah, dealing with that. The human body, especially as you get older, it's what is going on? Like I have no clue what's happening, but yeah, other than that, I'm doing okay. The Raptors managed to beat the Wizards.
Yeah, thankfully they kept Keyshawn George to under 20 minutes and pulled their starters, and the Raptors pulled that out. So, but yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few other things. Look ahead to the schedule ahead. Talk about kind of the playoff picture as that shapes out.
Yep, there's a whole bunch on the slate here. We also get to talk about sort of a behind the scenes, like a peek behind the curtain into what was said. Darko kind of went off on the team, so we'll discuss that. There's some stuff. There are rumors around the league that maybe some players on teams that are competing for a playoff spot might be coming back soon. We know of one, above the Toronto Raptors in the standings, but also teams below the Raptors in the standings. We're going to be talking about CMB, his thumb, all that good stuff. There is so much to talk about this episode, and including probably the most important thing that we're going to be looking at today is the battle for the seeding of the Toronto Raptors. Like, where are they going to end up in the East? It is very crowded in the middle of the board. So we will be taking a look at that. But yeah, maybe we can start off by talking about that kind of disastrous win, or like, kind of one of those wins against the Washington Wizards. That was a really bad first half.
It really was. I never turned the game off. I came so close to turning it off. I was like, this is disgusting. And like the Wizards were hitting shots, right? Like they were shooting a ridiculous percentage from three. Okay, that's going to happen. But like, it's the Wizards. It's a team that is not putting their all. Like, obviously the players are trying to win, but these are guys who are rarely new to the league. A lot of these guys are 20 years old. You're playing against Trey Johnson. You're playing against these guys.
Will Riley, that guy looks awesome.
Yeah, right. And instead you've got the Raptors starters looking like they can't get any rhythm going.
God, they were bad. Except for Quickly and Pirtle. Those two guys were awesome. Mm-hmm. Ingram was good on offense, but was getting cooked defensively. RJ Barrett, I would say that first half was the worst half of his career that I've ever seen from him. It was so bad, including like right up to the horn. The last shot that he took in the first half was a nothing but backboard layup where he put it like caromed it off of the square. It came down on the other side and got it. He was like, put it back up. It was too late.
Yeah.
Man, that was horrible. But he did have a good second half. So.
He redeemed himself second half, as did Scotty. Scotty was super unengaged in the if that's a word, in the first half. Like he was just, I was like, he's being a passenger out there. You can't have that. Notably, he has a knee brace on. He's still suffering with, what do they call it? A quad
contusion.
Yeah.
Contusion is just like a big bruise, basically.
Yeah, which he's questionable for tomorrow's game as well, right? As per Darko, right? So that's obviously still bugging him. So like, okay, can expect some of that. And thankfully, he put the burners on in the second half and got a couple things going, because I was like, I will lose all faith in this team if you drop this game to the Wizards, who are pulling their starters trying to lose it.
And another game against the Wizards. They've already lost to the Wizards. And it is so frustrating when you think about that, because the Raptors are in a dogfight. They were, second, and then they were third, and now they've dropped all the way down to fifth.
Yeah.
And there's a team right behind them. Maybe that's a good segue, and we can talk about the battle for the seeding in the East. And we'll just quickly pull up Basketball Reference and take a look at the seeding in the Eastern Conference, because it is, especially in the middle of the board, it is pretty crazy. The Toronto Raptors are in a playoff position by only 3 games. So if you take a look here, and I'll just kind of zoom in so we can take a better look at the standings here. As you can see, the Toronto Raptors are in 5th with 35 wins, 25 losses. The Cavaliers are ahead of them with 38 wins, 24 losses. So that's not actually that far away, because they've played more games than the Toronto Raptors. So they're only 1 loss behind them right now. And then Philadelphia is right on the Raptors' heels. They are 33 and 27. Then the Magic, who have not looked very good. That is one of the things that maybe is a boon for them, is that while Philadelphia, will get to them, have looked quite good, Orlando's kind of not looking very good. And they got some bad news with Franz Wagner and his injury status. Then there's Miami, always a wild card. And then we'll kind of skip over Atlanta, although we will discuss them a little bit in a little bit. But then there's Charlotte, who are surging. They were like one of the worst teams record-wise. And I think that we both knew that they were better than the Dregs.
Yeah.
But now they've turned on the afterburners, and they have sort of pulled themselves into a play-in position and overtaken the Milwaukee Bucks. So yeah, what are your thoughts here? And what do you think? Can the Raptors move up? Will they move down?
So after results come in from games, I'll do this kind of frenetic thing where I open the Real app and I quickly scan through everyone in our area's next schedule for the rest of the year, and I'll kind of pick out games that I think they're going to win and lose, and I'll be like, okay, I think the Raptors have 10 more wins in them. Okay, maybe it looks like the Sixers actually only have 8 more wins in them, but there's always room for upsets, and there's always room for, like, they're a pretty decent team, right? So it's inexact science, but I feel pretty confident that they're going to stay in the top 6, given just what I'm seeing from other teams' records and stuff. Obviously, the end of the Raptors season will end with a couple of games against Miami. If you drop both of those, Miami could be in a position
leapfrog them,
where they leapfrog them and dump them into the play-in, which would be, I mean, draft pick wise, that's fun, but it's a nightmare to have to play also potentially 2 more games before you get into the playoffs after you've worked so hard to put yourself in playoff position this whole year.
That would be a catastrophe.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, when you're in the play-in, especially the high play-in, like the difference between those picks and like as you move up in the lottery, the difference between like 1 and 2 is big. The difference between 2 and 5 is huge.
Yeah.
The difference between 12 and 15, is it really like, are we really going to be like, oh yay, we get to pick like a little? It's not. It is not.
I only felt that in what was it, 2023, when they crashed out in the play-in, where I was like, F this team, let's just get lower and just get a draft pick, and you get 13, and we get a guy that we'll talk about soon, Grady Dick. But yeah, that would be an absolute disaster. But from what I've seen, just with my completely terrible and exact math, I don't see them dropping lower than 6. So it's really, who are we going to end up playing for me? I'm thinking, okay, do you end up playing the 3rd seed, or do you end up playing the 4th seed?
Yeah. Or the 5th seed, like if the Raptors move up somehow.
Yeah. Which, given their home record, it's like, do you even want to start a series at home?
Touche. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it's a different beast in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, the atmosphere is totally different. It's like a start of a new season.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have not been good at home. So let's talk a little bit about Philadelphia, because the Philadelphia 76ers, I think a lot of people were kind of, especially early in the season, were kind of writing them off.
Yeah.
And obviously, they just had a pretty bad loss to Boston, but Boston is a good team. So like, it's not, they have Joel Embiid back, and he is looking like pretty good. Like, he's on a minutes restriction right now, but he is actually producing. It's not like they're getting the kind of gimpy version of him where he is just hobbling around the court and looking like a not a good player. He's actually producing. As you can see, let's just take a look at the past 5 games here. Sorry, I thought I was manipulating the page. I am a fool. Okay, as we can see here, I'll just zoom out a little bit. Look at his past couple of games here. So these are all within. He apparently didn't play against Boston, but played against on February the 26th against Miami. Had 26 points on 20 shots. Played against Indiana. Okay, whatever. He scored 23. Played against Phoenix. They have a good, Mark Williams, good player. I think he was playing that game. 33 points. Played against the Lakers. DeAndre Ayton, 35 points. So like, yada, yada, yada. He's actually good this season.
Yeah.
So the Toronto Raptors kind of have their work cut out for them here, is that they've got to be a much better team. Like, they've got to put wins on the board, because right now they are ahead of the Sixers. So they just have to kind of win enough games, and they will not, they're not going to fall behind the 76ers. But the 76ers they've got a super rookie. VJ Edgecombe has been awesome. They have, Tyrese Maxey. The McCain trade, I will say this for the Toronto Raptors, was a disaster. I think everybody understands it's a disaster. I think it was that case of Nick Nurse being kind of a bit of a bozo when it comes to developing players. Like, he leaves the 76ers, goes to the Thunder, and immediately looks right back to where he started. And their bench is horrible. Their bench is really bad. Like, they could have used him.
And even like on the surface, Kelly Oubre, he's having a decent season. He's a decent starter, like he's getting some blocks, all that stuff. But like, I saw a thing of his advanced metrics, and they're horrible. His impact is actually relatively negative for their starting lineup. So it's like, they do have the star power, but their depth can be rough. So dropping a guy like Jared that early.
And Grimes has not been good this season. Like, he's still fine. Like, he's still, better than a normal, like, let's just put it this way. He was a huge find for them. And it doesn't look as great as it was maybe last season, but he's having a bit of a down season. So trading Jared McCain for nothing, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But this is about the Toronto Raptors here.
Well, it's important to consider where the teams that are on our heels are at, right? And Paul George is suspended for the rest of the season for the drug thing. Is he additive to their team? Up and down, right? Like, he has good games. He has games where he kind of takes away from the team. So, I mean, that's kind of neither here nor there.
Did they ever get to the bottom of, or like, was there any leak or anything about what kind of drug he was taking for mental health? Was it like?
Yeah, I didn't see what it was, but it just seems kind of ridiculous because it's like mental health drugs is what we're targeting guys for. Is there performance enhancing aspect to it?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, is he like addicted to like uppers or something? Like, is he taking like stimulants or something that could be before the game that could be considered a performance enhancing drug? I know that that's a thing in chess,
right?
Is that a lot of these guys will go into the tournament and take like 3 Vyvances before they sit down in front of the board. So their brain is like working at warp speed, just like, so I don't know, maybe that's something there. But yeah, the Sixers, they're still a bit of an enigma, but I whenever you have a guy like Joel Embiid back and kind of looking like his normal self, you got to be a little worried.
Yeah.
Any other teams that you're concerned about, or do you think that the Toronto Raptors, let's just talk about the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Because like, is there a chance that the Raptors could pass the Cavaliers, do you think?
You know, if they had pulled out those couple of wins that they kind of had in their hand, I would say, yeah, because then they'd be sitting at around 37 wins and they'd be that close. And I think that they've still got, maybe another 10 wins on the board of their remaining schedule, right? So,
and they got the tiebreakers too. So
exactly, right? So if they had been able to pull out that Spurs game, that Thunder game, like these games that slipped away from you when you could have, they needed a statement win in there to give us confidence. And these games slipped away because of several factors, right? The third quarters, the decision, the coaching decision, all these things, right? Like you can go on for days about how they shot themselves in the foot when, especially in that Spurs game where the Spurs did you a favor and missed tons of free throws, keeping you in that game. De'Aaron Fox hit a ridiculous over the backboard shot, and then Brandon Ingram hit the side of the backboard for a completely different reason.
I know. Yeah. It felt like the game was lost before that.
Yeah.
Like when that huge run happened at the beginning of the fourth, I was like, okay, the Spurs are such a good team.
Exactly.
That you have to put them away.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let them can't play with fire. You got to put them in the ground like Jason, cut his head off. You cannot allow, dump him in a shallow grave and put some dirt on top of him and be like, my job here is done.
Good to go. Yeah, exactly.
No. So yeah, they did not do themselves a favor by letting them get back into that game.
Yeah.
That was such a disappointing loss.
It really was, because it would have been super fun to get that kind of statement when you hold Wemby to like offensively one of his worst games of the season. But again, like you lose CMB in that game because of his thumb. That's a high impact player. Although that game he was like a negative in his minutes, but like eye test wise, I don't care.
Yeah.
He was doing an excellent job on Wembanyama, making it really hard for that team. So, you lose a guy like that. And the bigger concern for me is like mentally, the team seems to let that stuff slip out of their grasp quicker. Like they've had some comebacks, the fake comebacks where it's like, oh, we're back in it. And then it's like,
yeah, all teams do that. I mean, like a lot of Raptors fans will be like, another fake comeback, a Raptor special. It's like all teams kind of do that.
Comebacks are just hard because you have to like outscore a team like 20-2 to come back. And then I feel like there is like a hurdle, like you feel accomplished by getting it tied again.
Yeah, and then you take your foot off the gas pedal.
Exactly.
You
just
don't
like
keep,
yeah, just like in the I guess it was the Spurs, whatever, right? Where and then just whoosh, boom, 7-8 points, boom. Right.
Yeah.
Or I guess that was the Thunder that did that. We came back against the Thunder, and then
they came back against the Thunder and tied it, and then it went downhill. Against the Spurs, they were up, like they went way up on them, like 12, I believe. So yeah, it was I was more proud of them after the Thunder game because they went down big and then they brought it all the way back. I was like, this was a good game. Against the Spurs, I was like, this is not a good game. This is a bad game. So but in terms of, okay, so let's talk about the seeding aspect of it. We're talking about these guys. Who would you rather face in the playoffs? Would you, like, I know that there's some people on Twitter who want to face the Knicks, but I think the Raptors and the Cavs. I think that is like probably their best matchup.
That's what I like, and I've been arguing with people about it all day. That like, yes, that is the Raptors' best matchup. That doesn't mean it's a great matchup. That doesn't mean I think that they're gonna beat the Cavs. I still think they're underdogs in whoever they play. But like, even just like if you think about, you play a team like the Knicks who have beat you whatever many times in a row at this point, 12 times in a row or whatever it is, right? Like you have you seen yourself win a game against them? It is so hard to then go into Madison Square Garden to start a series.
There's no formula. Like there's no roadmap to win. You can't be like, well, we did this here, we were successful there. And we if we do these things like we did in this game, then we can get the result that we're looking. There's none of that.
No, exactly. And against the Celtics, same thing. Like you don't. I fear the coaching matchup between Darko and Joe Mazzulla. I fear the defense of a guy like Derek White. Just overall, the Celtics are a kind of a beast of a team. And Jason Tatum will come back. Does that make him better? Is it throw a wrench in the works? You got to see what he's like. But he will be back soon.
But the Raptors would not, like, I don't think like you say, if the Knicks knock the Celtics off and I see.
It would be us dropping. Celtics probably stay up there. It's if we drop and then we end up like, or if we have to come out of the play in whatever it is to play them, that would be a nightmare to me because I think you get swept in that series. I don't think that they have many answers for the Celtics, who have such a good bench that it makes their starters look like they're taking away from the team. Like we talked about with Jaylen Brown, right? Like these Hugo Gonzalez, these guys and stuff like that will kick the crap out of the Raptors bench. They're not there.
Hold on just one second. Yeah. Does this guy Mark Price looks like Pierre Polyev?
I do see it. Brothers.
Am I crazy?
No, I see it.
A little bit. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, you. No, it's okay. Yeah, like, but against the Cavs, right? It's a different team. They made some trades and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And
they're mentally weak. That's the thing about them, is that the lights are too bright. They are the lights are too bright team.
Yeah. You've got Game 7 Honey Bun Harden, who, if you get it to Game 7, he averages 10 points per game in Game 7. He will fall apart. You've got Dennis Schroeder, who maybe will have a good series, maybe not. Yeah. That's who's like leading. Like, obviously, he would be their third ball handler at that point. He's gonna he'll be in their rotation, but you've got Spida and Harden, who are not great guard defenders in the first place, right? So can quickly put something together. Like, I just like the matchup significantly better than somebody like the Knicks, who have those wing defenders.
Exactly. That's the thing. The wing defenders. Like, the Cavs don't really have a good matchup for Ingram. Scotty Barnes is in that kind of like sweet spot. Obviously, Mobley can guard him, but like if it's away from the basket, he can use his playmaking. It's not like a nightmare thing, like against the Knicks or the Celtics. Like the Knicks have three amazing sort of perimeter, large wing-ish / forwards that can match up against your star players.
And then all hit threes in their face on the other side. Yeah. Right? Whereas
Celtics are going to bury the Raptors in threes. It's just a math equation.
Yeah.
And they are going to out three the Raptors. Like that's what's going to happen.
I guess like the interesting aspect of a matchup with the Knicks is like, how much can you hound Brunson and force them to play like just through him?
Right.
Like, I don't know, like, can you capitalize on him as a size-wise thing and cut off some of his passing outlets to shooters?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something there, right? But you've got to deal with their centers rotation is better. You've got Mitchell Robinson, who's a problem for the Raptors constantly, right?
Well, he's a problem if you let him stay on the floor.
That's true.
If you allow him to actually play basketball.
That's true, right?
Because you don't have to let him play basketball.
It's true.
So, and he's always injured too. So Yeah, I mean, like the things that I'm worried about are Brunson, who has a playoff gear, although not always. He's like an iffy playoff guy. And then there are 3 guys just sort of on the wing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and this is like, I mean, you think about the Cavs, yeah, like can you goad Dennis Schroeder into being a little ball hoggy, into being a little taking over? Because like he has confidence in himself, but what I saw in one of the recent games in clutch moments, he was
calling his own number.
Yeah, he was calling his own number a lot, right? And it's like, will that happen in the playoffs? Will that happen if Harden gets shy in the playoffs? Because we've seen him do that before. And obviously you would want the ball in like Schroeder's hands over Harden in those moments. But I just like, you've beat them a couple times. It's the regular season that you've beat them. I know it's different. I know it's a different team, everything, but
it matters less, but it still matters a bit.
Yeah, I'd still like, take it over the alternative.
People always say it's like, oh, it's totally different. It's like, it matters a bit, guys. It's not completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like you get to see them play against each other. So yeah, I would much rather the Cavs. So,
and to me, it's also the most fun upset. Like, obviously, it'd be fun to like upset the Knicks and stuff. It's like if you were going to have a miracle against any of
what
these
are you
teams,
talking about? You're saying that it would be more fun to upset the Cavs?
I think it would, because I think you send them into a rebuild. I think you literally, like, if you first round the Cavs by some miracle, then it's Donovan Mitchell and Harden both going, am I staying with this team next year? And then like things start to happen. Like, I think it's literally like, do they fire their coach? Do they?
James Dolan. The Knicks fans are nuts. They're crazy. Toronto just beat the Yankees in the playoffs, and that would just break their brains. They would have lost to Toronto teams, back to back. It would be
that would be fun.
Apoplectic. In Cleveland, they're just like, well, whatever. They're used to losing. This is like a new thing. This would be so much better, in my opinion.
It's true, and like you are kind of forcing the door more shut on the Knicks window, where you're like, you don't have exactly, like you don't have much time. This is supposed to be your shot. The East is so weak, and that would be crazy to just upset them as a team. That the thing that ticks me off about Knicks fans is that they call Raptors poverty when like we forget what happened over like the most of our entire basketball viewing experience, where it's like
most of my life.
This is a unhoused man moving into a house and immediately turning around and calling somebody else homeless. It's like,
exactly.
Come on, man,
bro.
Like, you just got here and it's because of Jalen Brunson. Chill out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we got to get off of this topic. We've been on here for a cool half hour, so that's our battle for seeding, State of the East. What can we talk about? Okay, why don't we get to this topic here? So this is something that I wanted to see. It's weird because this is kind of a silver lining to that, embarrassing win against the Washington Wizards, where Darko is the nice dad who allows the kids to have candy and, is like a positive parent and does all of the kind of things that the book tells you to do, and you can't yell at your kids, all that kind of stuff. But he snapped in that Washington Wizards game like everybody else. Like everyone else was so disappointed in the effort that was being shown by the Toronto Raptors in that Wizards game in the first half. And Emmanuel Quickly in the post-game interview said basically, like, what did he say at halftime? He's like, well, we didn't look at a lot of game tape. And in fact, he didn't show us any. And he just kind of like got into us and yelled at us and lit a fire under us. And, that's why we came out with such, force. And I have to say, I am so happy that he has that in him to do that.
Yeah.
Because we all saw, like, how long did it take him to get Malachi Flynn out of the rotation? Precious Achua, all those guys, Grady Dick, he had to be one of the worst players in the league for months. before he finally, I mean, we're kind of bearing the lead here, but he has a long fuse, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he let, this is apparently, and according to Quickly, he said this does not happen very often. It has been a long time since he's done anything like this. So what are your thoughts?
I love it as well. And like, look, as a coach, like I've coached teams before and stuff, you only have so many cards to play before you play them too many times,
Right.
and then you lose it, right? Like,
I agree.
When Nick Nurse lost the locker room, I imagine he snapped dozens of times.
Right.
And people start to tune it out because it's losing effect, right? So him doing it periodically, you listen, right? Because you're like, whoa, nice dad is actually mad, right?
Yeah.
And like I've had teachers and stuff growing up and everything where it's like, they're like, all right, that's it. No more effing around because you're taking advantage of,
or they hit the table.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you where like people are clowning and doing all that stuff and they bang?
Exactly. Right. Boom. Like, okay, you wake up. Right.
Yeah.
And the Raptors definitely needed it that game. And it's like, I know that we've seen Darko snap on media. We've seen him snap on refs. You know that he has like fire inside of him, but it's like, but can he yell at his children?
Yeah, exactly.
Evidently he can. And it pulled them up. And it's like, at the same time, you wish the guys didn't need something like that to get them to get up for a game against the Wizards. It's like, stop playing down to your competition. You just had a great effort against one of the best teams in the league against the Spurs, and now you're playing down.
It's just, what's kind of disappointing is that if you do that, the younger players on the team don't get taught the correct kind of, process. And I feel like what I will say is that this was an outlier for Darko, but I feel like it was also a bit of an outlier for the team in that, like, this was egregious in a way, like, I have not seen them play like this in a long time. Like, certainly not this season. That was definitely the worst effort of the whole season in the first half. And they've played with their food like at different times, and they've been down and then they've come back or whatever. But like that one, a lot of the time that's because, they're getting outplayed, or like it's just like they're not making their shots, or like there's something wrong with the team.
Yeah.
This was just like everybody's healthy except CMB.
Yeah.
And they just were going through the motions. They didn't look good at all in any way.
Yeah.
Really.
And I do think, like, I'm going to highlight this comment because it's what I think. Scotty Barnes is like the energy driver of the team most nights, right? Like,
I agree with this.
I don't entirely agree, but at the same time, like, when he does have low energy, if another player isn't immediately ready to pick it up, and like RJ was driving and all this stuff, but just like bricking everything. So it's like
it wasn't an energy problem with him in the first half. It was being crappy. Yeah,
exactly. Right. So Barnes being like seemingly taking a casual on offense, it's like nobody else is picking up the urgency of it. Whereas so often Barnes is like a spark plug, like, give me the rebound, boom, let's go, push the transition offense, yada, yada, yada.
Or even playing good defense. Like a lot of the time, there's a thing that people don't understand is that like it takes a lot of energy to play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time in the first half, he'll be playing like really good defense, like excellent defense where he is guarding 1 through 5 and protecting the basket, and then deferring on offense where he passes the ball a little bit. I'm okay with that.
Yep.
What I'm not okay with is him getting his butt whooped by what's his name?
Keyshawn George. Yeah.
And then on the other end, just kind of floating around, not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. Yeah. And RJ was horrible. The bench wasn't good all night. Like they just didn't have it. Mamu couldn't make any shots, and Shed was just not really doing much. Even it was just a nasty game, but like at the same time, I'm pleased with the fact that A, he lit his team up, and B, he got the result that he wanted.
Yes.
Right. And what you're saying is absolutely true. like you have only a couple of cards or like levers you can pull before the gear wears out and you can't pull the lever anymore. But I think that the idea is that you if it's not, you're not doing it, you're not going to the well, you're not, it's not like Hello Sunshine where you're going to the cow and trying to milk it every single moment, you know, with the yelling. If you go to that, you get the response. It's in your back pocket. You can use it when you need to again, and it won't get worn out. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, I think that he can keep going back to it, just not like every day, not every game, maybe like once in a blue moon. But I'm glad that he was able to show that. I think that's a big development for the Toronto Raptors.
And it like, as you're saying, that you get the result for it, it's like the team answers the call of the calling for it. Like if you remember, like since DeAndre Ayton is being talked about with his bottle of crunk juice or whatever that whole thing is with him, odd player who thinks he's better than Clint Capella and he isn't. But you've remembered JJ Redick saying that he made the team run and saying that like he really went off on the team, and DeAndre Ayton like very next day was like, "Oh, you believe that?" And like that is not a good response. That is somebody who doesn't respect his coach and doesn't like, and that immediately weakens your voice in the room. So for
what was crazy is like he was trying to give them a break. Because the media asks you a question. You want to say like, yeah, I worked the team out hard the next day to give them a little punishment for the thing. It's like going, you know, and saying that you didn't get punished for your bad performance. You go along with the story. He gave you a cover.
Exactly.
He's giving you cover for your performance, and you say like, yeah, we were bad boys, but we paid our, you know, we did our time, and now you can feel good about that. And he's like, no, coach didn't say anything.
Whereas
God, he's so stupid.
Quickly and RJ did the opposite, where they were like, yeah, coach really leaned into us on that, and it really worked, exactly. Right? So it's like they're in lockstep with that. So it shows too, because it's important, like to be able to, if you are going to yell, to not lose respect with people and stuff. Like I've had coaches that yell and cross the line, and you watch as somebody like you lose them. Like,
oh yeah,
I like one of my friends, like it's just like distant. They're just like, oh, F this guy, right? And Darko will not cross that line because he's still like a very smart, intuitive, emotionally intelligent person and coach. So that's a really good sign, basically.
And there's a way to like yell and challenge somebody and like get on them without like crossing the line. Like that is, I think most people know what that is. But I think people with like anger problems and people who have like, you know, maybe a narcissistic bent or something like that don't. So I don't think that's Darko. But okay. So Darko, that's a positive development. An unfortunate development also kind of involving Darko, Grady Dick. Healthy scratch, past 2 games. What do you think?
Is it over? Like it's been coming for some time where it's like, forget about the fake plus minus stuff. He has one thing he has to do to stick in the league, and that's hit his shots. It's nice that he adds the other stuff to his game and he has to defend and all this stuff. But if you just can't hit your threes, man, there's Jameson Battle right there. There's these guys that are on your heels, and finally they've started to get minutes over him.
Yeah, and it's also just like, you know, he's trying hard. Okay. That has always been the thing. Is that like, I've been frustrated with players in the past where they haven't lived up to expectations, or you've seen stories around the league where the guy just didn't try and he kind of floated out of the rotation as a result. Like you can tell that he got a bunch of kicks at the can because he is putting in effort and he is trying really hard. But I think it's just kind of over for him. Like I think it's like it is over. Like I say that like they will give him more shots. Like they will give him more opportunities. Like, oh God, Tucker's kind of looking like me with the criticize, but
I have that always.
Yeah.
It's Yeah, like he will get some more shots and stuff, and he'll probably get another shot in the league if the Raptors move on from him. He will be another guy who gets a shot because if you hear other teams announcers and all that stuff, like he's still thought of as a shooter. Can't leave that guy open. A rare miss. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure?
My favorite call of the season. This is sort of a bit of a tangent, but Tyus Jones, who actually just got picked up by the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, can Jokic save him?
No. But during the game, who was he playing for prior to that? Was it
the Magic?
The Magic, right? And Alvin was like, Tyus Jones like hit 2 threes or something in the game. Like if the Raptors were making him look good, of course. And Alvin's like, he hit the second 3, and Alvin goes, "That's what he does. That's what." I'm like, no, it's not. That is definitely not what he does. He went like a month without scoring a point or something like that.
He is the fake assist to turnover ratio guy. That's what he does.
He's the guy that if you don't watch the games, you're like, wow, this guy's pretty good.
Wow, yeah.
But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Grady Dick. No, yeah, Grady Dick. I don't hate the guy. I don't think that he's like. I don't harbor no ill will. The guy is trying his best, and it's about the shooting. So I think he'll get another shot with the Raptors.
Yeah.
They'll put him in, see if he's hot. If he's not, he'll get a quick hook. They'll do that a couple of times. See if he can shoot. If he can't, get a quick hook. If he can't shoot, as I said, it's over. Sad stuff. I mean, it's never fun when a lottery pick and a guy that the team has invested a lot of resources into is not up to snuff. The NBA is a very difficult league. There are millions of people trying to make it into the NBA, and not many get a sniff, so it is, it's a tough scene.
And the 2023 draft, man, like the players that were projected to be shooters, you got
Hawkins,
Jet Howard, who was obviously picked a bit high, right? But still was like a shooter, right? All 3 of them are in danger of not signing a next contract. Like Kobe Buffkin is barely clinging onto the league.
I remember when he was like the prized possession.
Yeah, everybody was
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, and they him along with another guy who's out of the league who
what's his name?
Griffin's son.
Yeah, AJ Griffin.
Yeah. And DeAndre Hunter, whatever that package was. It was such a ridiculous package, and I can't believe Atlanta turned it down because it would have been, but the sticking point was Kobe Buffkin. But the 2023 draft overall has had so many disappointing players, and it's like the Raptors, they would have just had to pick Keontae George, and would we even give him the minutes that he got with Utah?
Well, the thing is that like he probably would have gotten a backup spot, and Darko, loves to give minutes to younger players and let them develop. So there's a good chance he could have developed here in Toronto. But like, it's really tough to say because he was not good for the first 2 seasons in the league. Yeah, like this is the first season where he's actually like pretty good, and even then his like splits, like he passes the eye test. Let's just put it that way. Like this season, he has been really good on offense. Like he's still a sieve on defense, but like
I've seen Trae Young comps to him.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it in the way that he's scoring, passing.
He's a better shooter than Trae.
Right. So obviously, like, but when you look at it, when you look back over his first couple of seasons, Grady showed more flashes than Keontae did. So for a moment, you really felt like you had something during that one tank season where he was averaging like 20 points per game. It was like, oh my gosh, we actually got something here. This guy can be so valuable off the bench. Can't put it together. Can't hit his shots. Can't stay in the rotation, man. This is a team that is trying to not do so much in the playoffs, but they are trying to take a next step. And
it's like, the thing is that like everybody knew. Like anybody who watches this team every game was like, Grady is being given a lifeline here.
Yeah.
Like this is basically they're trying to see if he can bust out of the funk because he was not producing in his minutes. And they gave him a long rope. Like Darko was very charitable. Like, this is not a situation where he was, unjustly pulled out of the rotation.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is, as they say. Let's get to the next point. We'll talk the last thing about the Raptors, then we'll get into sort of the fun stuff that's around the league. But we'll talk about CMB's thumb, because that is a developing story. So, of course, the Toronto Raptors get Jakob Poeltl back, and he's looked very good. No complaints there. They lose CMB. He is unlikely to play in the next game, probably not for a while now. There was some pretty bad news. Darko was talking to the media, and he said he can't grab a ball with his hands, which is not good.
No, and he's been trying to tough it out. He's played for over a month now with this thumb injury, and you just see him
really
like
good too.
Yeah, and then like all of a sudden he gets hacked on the hand again, and then he's like on the bench.
Actually, he swiped down onto Wemby's arm, and it like his thumb caught his arm and bent backwards, and it really effed his thumb up. So,
and was that where because I know they got footage of Sandro Mamakeleishvili next to him on the bench being like, you gotta take it easy because you're gonna just straight up injure yourself. Like, you're no good if you're actually injured.
Yeah.
And it's like, I keep seeing him like fighting through this, and it's like, you gotta rest this guy. You gotta, and I'm glad that he is getting this rest to try to rehab this, because
they can do it now because Poeltl is back.
Exactly, right.
They couldn't do it when he was gone because they would just have completely imploded. But
yeah, so like it's and as you said, Poeltl's been good, right? So it's like absolutely rest up, CMB, get him back a couple games before the playoffs. Like, he probably won't be out for that long, but it's going to make it a lot harder to win games because he is a very positive player. He's excellent with Barnes defensively on the floor. Like, he's another we've talked about it at length many times. He's another defensive savant, right? That you really like to have in your rotation. And an
insane offensive rebounder. Like, that guy is crazy on the offensive.
He really is, especially given his size and everything, and he's just a nose for the ball, right? And like, I don't know if the rookie cast is so stacked, so he might not really even have a chance of making the second all-rookie team at this point, but I don't know if games played matters for it, because some of these awards you don't, but he might get ruled out by missing games. Who knows, right? But ultimately, this is definitely the right move to rest his thumb, because
for sure
they need him. Like, he'll be in the playoff rotation as a 20-year-old. And he showed so many good signs. You don't want to make anything worse. So take your time. Cool. Good thing.
And he plays like, the thing about him in the playoffs is, like, have you ever seen a rookie that plays more like a vet than this guy? And he's not like an older rookie either. He's like 21 years old. So the Raptors could really use him in the playoffs. So I completely agree with you. All right. Let's get to one of the weirder stories around the NBA. This is like one that I think that people thought the case was cracked. Like, oh, he has this weird condition, POTS.
Yeah.
Can't stay. So what it is, POTS, I can't remember what it stands for. Maybe I'll look it up. But like, the idea is that if you are in a seated upright position or standing, you become dizzy after a certain period of time, and you can't, you have to lie down. And that is what they were saying Kristaps Porzingis had. And it might have been as a result of like long COVID or like something to do with that. They weren't exactly sure. So that's what the official story was. People are saying, like, making a lot of kind of like mean-spirited jokes about it's like it's AIDS or like something like that or whatever. But like, people were like, oh, okay, it's this weird condition. Sure. And so he gets traded to the Golden State Warriors, and Steve Kerr goes on the radio and he's like, oh yeah, I was talking to the general manager of Atlanta, and I said, is this POTS thing? Like, what is this? And he said, it's not actually POTS. That was some misinformation that was out there. It's like, no, that came from the team. Like, that was the official story.
Like, what was his medicals for the trade? Like, what do you
what did
mean?
they
If you're
agree?
just hearing about this now, did you just agree like, no physical, who cares? Like,
Well,
is
I
that
think
what?
the thing is that like they maybe it doesn't come up in a physical. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how you would test for it.
Yeah,
This is one of the weirder stories in the NBA.
it
What
is.
is it?
Is he a absolute medical anomaly? As he's a unicorn. What
Yeah, it's
can
the unicorn of
what can unicorns get?
the unicorn of the medical community, because
Yeah,
he's studying him like kind of like the Elephant Man or something.
yeah,
But like I find that so bizarre. Like because when you make a statement, like if he's saying it's misinformation or that it's not true, you have to have another diagnosis or you
yeah,
have to have some way of ruling it out. Like how would you rule that out?
yeah. That's true, right? Like, so I guess you can do a test for. You can get so you can get POTS for concussions. I had symptoms of it after mine, so I don't have. I mean, maybe he had a concussion at some point. But do they test him for this thing, and what is going on now? How do they treat it? He is a guy who is just playing no minutes for anyone. He's gonna be a free agent this summer, right?
Yeah, this was kind of like a Hail Mary trade that the Warriors made. They were like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe we can get this guy for the playoffs or whatever.
So who and what is he gonna sign for if he still has this mystery illness that might make him
He
just
might
miss
just
games?
not. Yeah, he might just not even get a contract
Yeah.
because or a minimum or something like that.
Yeah.
Like and in which case will you even like why would you do that to yourself? Why
Yeah.
would you risk like if you were actually physically ill every time you step on a basketball court, just it's time to retire.
Yeah.
Like, don't take a minimum contract. Just take the money that you've made and go home. So I have no clue what's going on. It's such a weird story.
It's very weird how Kerr handled it because he's typically a keep all the information on the team close
He
to
is
him
the best
vest.
at keeping secrets.
So
Do you know how
why
many
he felt the
stories
need?
that there are about Draymond that he probably would be like Draymond would be drummed out of the league if he told those stories?
I bet you he has stories about Michael Jordan that would get him tried for war crimes. Like
Oh yeah, for sure.
this dude, he is, the guy that would have a black eye from playing with Michael Jordan and keep it quiet. Why is he going on the radio to tell everybody about a
and he
made-up illness?
apologized recently. He said, "Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have gone out and said all this stuff about his medical condition." It's like, yeah, no, duh. Like, what the hell were you thinking? Yeah. So that is a very perplexing story. I thought I'd bring it up because I wanted to share with y'all.
Yeah.
Very, very weird story. There's another bit of business here that has some implications about playoff seeding. Trey and Giannis, obviously on different teams, are apparently thinking of making a comeback this season.
I believe Giannis is playing soon, like today or tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay. So
yeah, I think he's back. Yeah.
So that is actually a real needle mover.
Yeah.
But the team is so bad outside of him that I don't know if it's going to matter. And if they're too far back,
yeah, they're 4 games back, right? They have a lot of ground to make up on a very good Hornets team, right?
Yeah.
So obviously he's still one of the top 4, top 3 best players in the league, depending on how you look at it. But it won't affect us because we don't have any more games against the Bucks. So that's nice. Got that last win in there, so that's great. And it will, if it does with Giannis, they don't necessarily better than the Sixers or anything. They're not gonna get these wins or anything, but it will make some of these games harder for teams like the Magic and stuff.
That is true.
I believe have games left against them right now.
Very true.
What does Trey on Washington look like? How much minutes are they even going to play him? They're still not trying to win. They're just trying to give him a look, right?
It should be fun. It should be fun. These things are fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it matters.
Yeah. The one that matters to us is Tatum coming back in a sense because we still have another game against the Celtics and there's a chance you play the Celtics if you drop or if you are able to reach the second round, then you're playing the Celtics, but doesn't matter at that point. with
Yeah,
Tatum, no
exactly.
Tatum.
We'll be doing victory laps if they make the second round.
Yeah.
But like Tatum, what I'll say is that like Boston's in a rhythm right now. They are looking really good. Like I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of friction working him back into the lineup. Not saying that it'll help the Raptors win or anything. I don't know if that's I'd go that far, but like maybe things don't go super smoothly. Like the even despite his on-off numbers, Jaylen Brown has been steering the ship there and looking really good. Like I'm actually kind of surprised. Well, I'm very surprised at how well they've done this season. So like, will Tatum's return be like really smooth sailing for them?
Yeah, I think if they bring him in as the secondary guy on purpose to get his legs under him, it can work. But if they're immediately like, okay, your turn, my turn, or he's like, then it's like, then it might be a bit clunky. But I trust Mazzulla as a coach, and they've got a lot of talent, right? So I don't know if it like they're adding it, even if he just like he said he doesn't want to come back. There was a quote, right? He doesn't want to come back as a role player. He didn't want to come back ready just as a role player or something. I don't remember
That's
the
such
exact
a selfish thing to say.
Right. And
he's
it's like
low key one of like, he's like stealth toxic. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole thing when he was in the Olympics and he was pouting about like rightfully kind of, but like he made it a bit of a like maybe that's why
he was a bit of a downer on it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I was first team All NBA. Why am I not playing? Meanwhile, Tyrese Halliburton is just smiling away, happy to be there, having a great time,
shaking his pom poms.
So I mean, I guess there's that because like both Tatum and Brown kind of like have this like nobody respects my game enough as it should, right? And like
the chip on their shoulder.
But they both get like discredited for the same reason, being like, because you guys are on a good team. You don't carry this team. You've been on a good team your whole career. And whether that's true or not, they get that criticism and they seem more sensitive to it than other players who just don't really seem to care when you talk about them. There are some players who really care when you talk about them, Kevin Durant, but
I get it from Jaylen Brown's perspective because he has been unfair. Like he should be in Tatum's shadow a bit. But he is seen as the distant second. When in reality, it's more of a 1A, 1B. And this season has proven that that is the case. He has looked very good. Even though the advanced stats say it's just, guys, you have to be holistic. You cannot go fully on the stats. But like it should be 1A, 1B. If it comes back and he doesn't get to at least be the 1A guy for the remainder of the season, things could pop off there in a bad way. So that'll be interesting. I like how we mentioned Trey and Giannis returning, two of the least, relevant guys, and then Tatum for some reason is left off of the headline here, but whatever.
Well, and Darius Garland's returning. We have one more game.
Oh, right. Yeah, the Clippers.
The Clippers, right? So that's interesting. They're still, if you saw Kawhi say, oh, it's over, that was hilarious.
I know. He does not give a what.
Yeah, we tried. I think it's over.
When are they going to announce what's going to happen? They said the All-Star break.
I know.
Adam Silver's just like,
this isn't
blow over.
This isn't like Adam to sweep it under the rug. This is not the Adam Silver that I know. That's an interesting question. Could they pivot? Now, are you saying could they pivot off of Derek White next summer? So they want a high price for him. He's their most impactful player. Like they're going to want 2 or 3 firsts. And do you pay that for a 32-year-old? I think I wouldn't, because you're keeping
constantly selling high.
They're very good at selling high.
About the Celtics is that as soon as the player, like the day before their best before date, they are sending them out the door. Drew Holiday has not played this season, or he's played like 2 games this season. What's his name?
Kristaps
Porzingis. Look at what's his name? Also, Mark Williams. Not Mark Williams. Who's their center that had that?
Al Horford.
No.
Al
Horford.
Robert Williams. Yeah.
Robert Williams the third. They like squeeze every last drop out of a player and then hand you the husk.
Yeah.
Like they hand you the orange rind after they've squeezed every last drop out of them.
And
so
they move
I
quick.
don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They move quick and they know, right? So if they are selling, they're either selling super high or they know something that we don't know. There was before this season, if the Celtics were actually pivoting to like tank, then I was like, yeah, Derek White as the 2 on this Raptors roster would make them a top 3 team, I think, because he's one of the most impactful players, one of the best defensive guards, and as an upgrade over RJ, it's immense. Even though Derek White can't shoot at the rim this season for some reason, it's ridiculous actually. But that's not been his career and stuff. So like,
no, it's an aberration.
Would I have totally wanted him earlier? Yeah. Now with the Celtics just continuing to be good, for them to move off him, it would have to be a lot.
And they're going to ride with him. If they think they can get another year out of him, they'll get another year out of him. If they think they need to trade him, they're going to trade him. They are the masters of timing. So, let's talk about the upcoming schedule. That's really the last thing that we need to talk about here because the Toronto Raptors have some tough games coming up. We've talked about them a little bit. The New York Knicks are the Toronto Raptors' next opponent. They'll be playing them tomorrow. I believe it's 7:30. Let me just check. Yeah, so. 7:30. And that game's going to be tough. I mean, we've already kind of gone into why. But after that, they have the rematch against the Minnesota Timberwolves, another game that they dropped that they shouldn't have dropped. These games against contending teams where they just like managed to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. But that was like the one game where I thought that they had it in the bag and they just completely blew that. So that's on Thursday. Then they play the Dallas Mavericks. Always a sprightly team. Cooper Flagg is obviously in the running for Rookie of the Year. Other than that, they don't really have a lot going for them. They lost Jaden Hardy. They lost, what's his name? Anthony Davis. He was Data Davis for them. Then they play the Houston Rockets, and that'll be a tough one. The Rockets have actually kind of been struggling recently.
Yeah.
Let's just quickly take a look at their last couple of games. Şengün has kind of like he is struggling as of late with his defense, and he is not being as efficient as they would like, but they're still a really good team. Reed Shepherd is actually playing well now. They've got obviously Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant. They've got a lot of Clint Capella. He's been in the news recently. He's been getting a glow up ever since that dumbass Ayton brought him up for some reason. He's like, they're trying to make me into Clint Capella. It's like, bro,
you've never even been, you can't touch Clint Capella at this point.
Prime
in your career,
Clint
man.
Capella was like the best two-way lob threat with Harden. Like he was like, and also like think about how many people he pissed off because like Clint Capella was like doing the 50 Cent like me? Like what do you get mad at me for? What was he thinking? God, that was so funny. What a bozo. So they've got a bunch of good players. And I don't know if they're gonna win that one.
It'll be tough, right? Like it'll be you gotta win the guard matchup there. Right. So it's like just quickly have something for that. Scotty's gonna be pretty preoccupied with KD and stuff like that, right? So another tough matchup, right? Like they're still a good team. It's hard for the Raptors to guard Şengün on the offensive side of the ball because his footwork is so good.
But they haven't had Pirtle match up against him. Like I don't know what that matchup would look like. I don't know if I'm not saying Pirtle's going to shut him down or anything, but he has been kind of struggling recently. And Pirtle is pretty fleet-footed for a center. Like it's not like he's like some plodding guy or anything like that. I'm interested to see that matchup. The next game that they have is it's the sort of gimme game against the Pelicans, and the Pelicans have been one of the worst teams in the league this year. Obviously, they've got Derek Queen. What's his name has been popping off for them?
Sadiq
Bey. Yeah, he had like a 40 burger the other day.
He does that. He's a funny player, man. Yeah,
he usually sucks. Like he's usually really bad, but
yeah,
like,
but he will get a 50, a 40 randomly rate. Like he can do that. Zion is currently injured now.
Oh, I just don't. He's the next Data Davis. Like
yeah, but he was like he played so many games, and they were like, this is the most games he's played in a row, and then, but you got to win that one. Like you have to win the gimmies, all of them.
Yeah.
I think you have to win that Dallas game. Dallas already beat you this year, right? You've got to win that Dallas game because like you literally to stay afloat in a tough part of the schedule.
You got to find the wins. You got to find the wins. Like you can't count on beating the Knicks. You can't count on beating the Wolves or the Rockets. You got to take care of business. TCOB. So what do you think? I think I correctly predicted the last one. So I think I just said they would win against the bad teams and lose against the good teams. And they did.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to say that they win against the Mavericks and the Pelicans.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to be that guy. I think they are going to win the rematch against the Timberwolves. They'll lose against the Knicks. They'll lose against the Rockets. Excuse me. They'll beat the Mavericks and the Pelicans. They'll go 3-2 here. So I'll be glass half full. What do you think?
I'm going to say 3-2 as well. But as I said last week, delusionally optimistic about actually beating the Knicks.
Okay.
Based on absolutely nothing other than vibes. Okay. They're going to lose the Timberwolves matchup in probably the same way. They're going to give up the lead again. but just they'll pull it out against the Knicks. I have a weird feeling it's going to happen. And then watch, we're going to actually get dropped by like 40. But I think 3-2 as well, and I think that is.
They'll be overconfident. They're going to walk right into our trap. Hurdle is back. It's going to be a whole different ball game. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not too optimistic, but listen. I'll give you major props if they beat the Knicks, and you had the intuition, you had the inside line. Okay, folks, that is the podcast with just over an hour. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my page, obviously, Raptors Report. Check out Steve's page on YouTube and Twitter at Raptors Shack. We are, very active on Twitter, very active on YouTube. We'd love to hear your comments. Oh, join the Discord as well. There's a Discord link in the description, usually. If not, just look up Raptors Report. But in any case, thank you for tuning in, as always, and we will see you next week. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, guys.